In the tech world, a brilliant idea, well, that gets you in the door, but it's cash flow that decides if you get to stay. The real challenge isn't just about coding the next big thing, it's about managing the absolute lifeblood of your company, your cash. So today, we are breaking down exactly how to master cash flow planning, not just to scrape by, but to build a solid foundation for some serious growth.
This is the question, isn't it? It's the one that keeps founders staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. You're pouring money into growth, you're hiring the best people, you're building out your product, but then you check the bank account and there's that little knot in your stomach. Are we spending too fast? Are we gonna run out of runway? Let's just tackle that fear head on.
So what's really going on here? Well, at its core, it's this fundamental tension baked into the tech industry. The mantra is always grow, grow, grow at all costs, capture the market. But that exact same aggressive growth puts this immense pressure on your finances. You're basically on a tightrope, balancing between breakthrough ambition and, well, going broke.
Okay, so let's get our terms straight. When we talk about this pressure, what we're really talking about is your cash burn rate. It's simple, really. It's how much cash you're spending each month over and above what you're bringing in. Think of this number as the pulse of your startup. It's one of the most critical, vital signs you have.
And this really gets to why tech isn't like most other industries. I mean, just look at where the cash goes. You've got these massive upfront R&D costs before you even see a single dollar in revenue. You're spending a ton on customer acquisition cost, or CAC, fighting to win every single user. And while you're growing, you're scaling servers and infrastructure, all while trying to hire top-tier talent, which, let's be honest, is not cheap. It is a perfect storm for draining your cash reserves.
But here is the good news. This is not some unsolvable puzzle. The solution is all about strategic planning. And no, this isn't about pinching every last penny or slamming the brakes on growth. It's about transforming cash flow from something you're afraid of into a powerful tool you can actually use to make smarter, better decisions. To get that control, you've got to understand where your cash is moving. The easiest way is to think of it in 3 big buckets. First, you have operating cash flow. That's the engine of your business, the money from sales minus the cost of running the show, like salaries and rent. Then there's investing, which is how you build for the future, buying equipment or funding that next big R&D push. And finally, financing. That's the fuel you bring in from the outside, like VC funding or loans. Getting a handle on these 3 flows, that's the foundation of real financial control.
All right, so we've laid out the problem, we've got the core concepts down. Now let's get to the playbook. This is your actual step-by-step guide to grabbing the wheel and actively steering your company's financial future. Here we go, your 5-step plan. It all starts with forecasting, getting a really honest look at what's coming in and what's going out. You use that to predict, creating a 12 to 18-month projection that becomes your map. Third, you set targets. What does success actually look like for your cash reserves and your runway? Fourth, and this is so important, you monitor everything, and I mean relentlessly. Check your key metrics weekly, not quarterly. That way you can react fast. And finally, you stress test the whole plan. Run the numbers for your worst-case scenario so you are never, ever caught by surprise. But listen, a forecast is only as good as the data you put into it, right? To make it truly reliable, don't just guess. You got to anchor it in your recurring revenue, your MRR or ARR. Then build on that solid foundation by realistically modeling things like churn and new customer growth. For that short-term precision, a 13-week rolling forecast is gonna be your best friend. Seriously, it acts like a high-beam headlight, giving you a super clear, immediate picture of the road right in front of you. So what's the goal here? What are you aiming for? This number right here, this is your North Star. Having an 18 to 24-month runway, that gives you breathing room. It means you've got enough cash in the bank to operate for that long without any new funding. That lets you focus on building the business, not just constantly raising money. And please, remember this. No forecast is ever going to be perfect. The market's going to change, a big client might fall through, a new competitor could pop up. The whole point of this exercise isn't to be a fortune teller and get it 100% right. The goal is simply to have a framework that helps you make better, faster, and way more informed decisions day in and day out. And that right there brings us to the ultimate payoff. Because when you get this right, you fundamentally shift your entire mindset. You stop thinking about cash flow as just a tool for survival. You start wielding it like an offensive weapon to fuel smart, strategic growth. Just think about the rewards for a second. You can walk into a board meeting and clearly, confidently explain your cash position and your plan. That builds incredible trust with your investors. You can decide when to hire, when to launch that new marketing blitz, or when to double down on R&D, all because you're operating from a position of strength, not a position of fear.
So in the end, it really just comes down to this simple idea. Good cash planning is not just a defensive move to keep the lights on. It is the vital, offensive strategy that actually fuels sustainable growth. It's the stable launchpad that lets your vision truly take flight.
Okay, so let's make this real. Right now. Forget about overhauling your entire system at once. Looking at everything we've just covered, what is the one single tangible change you can commit to making in your cash planning process this week? Maybe it's just setting up that 13-week forecast, or maybe it's having an honest conversation with your team about your burn rate. Whatever it is, start there.
If you are looking for professional guidance, give us a call today. Sit back and relax while we do all the complicated work for you.